Hello and welcome to Tech Cubicle on SAP. I am Daryl Griffiths and this is my weekly 180 where I spend 180 seconds on the latest techie news that impacts the world of SAP. At the end, I'll pick my favourite to review in a little more detail in the cubicle. In this episode, I say farewell to my LinkedIn AI-generated post-spotting game, LinkedAIn. Instead, I show a simple example of a free tool that can be used to generate a LinkedIn post, and I show the consequences of when it goes wrong. In my SAP Techie News this week, SAP announced an array of innovations targeted at the SAP DataSphere and SAP Analytics Cloud products. On the outset, these innovations center around data provenance and business context, but also include integrations with SAP's AI assistant, Joule. Some of the enhancements in DataSphere include Knowledge Graph, which is capable of rendering ontological representations of data overlaid with business context pulled from source systems such as SAP S4HANA. Plus, the ability to onboard data from additional sources such as SAP HANA Cloud, the SaaS-based version of the SAP HANA database. SAP HANA Cloud gains a vector engine, useful for AI model comparison, which should be available at the end of Q1. Deeper integration between SAP DataSphere and SAP Analytics Cloud for planning, which will use the SAP DataSphere Business Data Fabric and allow storing of planning data in DataSphere ready for integration using SAP Cloud Analytics. SAP Cloud Analytics also gains integration with Joule to allow analytical queries to be formulated through natural language processing, NLP, for easier querying and includes AI-infused output based on previous plan iterations. SAP and Calibra partner to bring AI data governance to SAP's customers. As with any data, AI training data and models need a form of governance, and Calibra's products enable this governance through visibility of the data lineage. I've placed the link in the description down below. AWS has announced that the latest R7i EC2 instances are now available in the Europe region, specifically Paris. These R7i instances are SAP certified and utilize custom 4th generation Intel Xeon scalable processors suitable for running SAP HANA databases, and according to AWS deliver up to 15% better price performance versus R6i instances. Although there were initial reports in October last year of performance decreases with larger EC2 R7i instances. Link is in description down below. A security article on Bleeping Computer details the recent virtual machine sandbox escape flaws in VMware's ESXi, Workstation and Fusion products. The sandbox escape flaw is where a vulnerability at the hypervisor layer can be leveraged from inside a virtual machine to escape, allowing code execution on the virtual machine's host, which could allow data to be acquired from other executing virtual machines on that same host. VMware has released fixes for the vulnerabilities. See the link in the description. My favourite item this week is the SAP Innovations announcement. This is quite a large list of enhancements and features, but to me they all seem to target the same area, AI. The DataSphere product has clearly been highlighted here as the platform for data augmentation with AI. The announcement specifically says that knowledge graphs will provide better context for large language models, LLMs, and that this will prevent AI-generated hallucinations. Generally, hallucinations is the term applied to errors in the AI output caused by a lack of training data, a poor model, and/or from incorrect weighting of biases. To be able to provide better context, access to source data is needed, especially if the source data is stored in remote silos like a business system of record. It just so happens that in this announcement, SAP HANA Cloud is getting a vector engine. Actually, this was announced back in December 2023 in an SAP blog post. I'll include the link to that blog post in the description down below. This new vector engine will allow SAP HANA Cloud to act as an agent capable of obtaining business data for added context in an LLM query and in the answer. As an example, imagine a query by a user, give me the last 10 vendors added to the system. Extra business context from a business system is needed for the LLM to understand what is meant by vendors. This is the sort of information that the SAP HANA Cloud database with its new vector engine can obtain and augment into the query and then provide as context in the answer. That is why this process is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, RAG. It allows a base model of data to be augmented with a user-defined dataset. The key to all of this is that SAP HANA Cloud database operates as a vector database, sorting embeddings of vectors that can be used in similarity searches during a query execution. In a dedicated video, I'll talk about what a vector database is and why SAP HANA Cloud makes a compelling use case. When I do, I'll come back and put a link up here somewhere. This new feature in SAP HANA Cloud is not for ERP products like S4HANA at the moment. It is for custom developments on SAP HANA Cloud. The interesting thing in the news release is that the DataSphere product is potentially going to act as more like a hub for SAP S4HANA data. Therefore, is it possible that the SAP HANA database that we use underneath S4HANA will actually never get this feature at all because it's provided by DataSphere, which is based on SAP HANA Cloud, I suppose. Finally, as a bit of fun, when I started this channel, I devised a bit of a game called LinkedAIn. Over the course of 8 episodes, I've shown how to identify posts on LinkedIn that have been AI generated. There has been an explosion in tools available to do this. Some tools are now able to generate the post content in an image format. Same old AI generated list wrapped in a nice image. Instead, as a farewell to LinkedAIn, here is how you can harness the power of AI to generate LinkedIn posts for free and using only 10 seconds of your life. I'm going to use the free tool AIFreebox.com and the LinkedIn post generator feature on that website. The tool can do so many other things, but let's create a post. I enter a post topic, 3 things SAP BTP can replace in your SAP landscape. We choose the tone and the creativity level. I'm going to choose max creativity to give me all those swanky emoticons. Then click Generate. There we have it, our very own AI-generated post. Look at how unoriginal that content is. I just can't bear to use it, but if you look closely you will see content like this all the time on LinkedIn. Don't become just another AI poster. Use the tools for inspiration, ideas that can be investigated, but don't rely on the content. Watch what happens if I change the subject slightly. I enter the modified post, click Generate. Ah yes. Some completely incorrect information confusing something called incentive management with commission management and business transformation. The SAP ICM, SAP Internet Communication Manager, has been around for many years and should not really be confused with anything else. But the AI has decided to ignore the definition of SAP ICM and decide on its own interpretation. Do your own research. I've put the link to the tool in the description down below. As always, reference links are in the description. Drop me a comment down below, give the video a thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and always wash your hands after leaving the cubicle. Bye bye.